So the origin of language is that expression of duality, the experience of there being more than just one. We understand from our experience doing practice, when we've realized a certain amount, that there is delight in communicating, that there's delight in language. And this potential for communication, for language, is built into that experience of duality. In fact, you could say that the pleasure of coming to know oneself through communicating is the reason or the life process of this entire reality. That out of that unconditioned state arises all of these experiences of duality, all communicating. And through that massive social network of reality comes the rediscovery of total self-knowledge. What is communicating, though? It's not just us, right? It's not just what we call sentient beings. Everything has this quality of language, of communication built into it. So some of the kinds of languages we know about, other than our human languages, are languages of different animals. They communicate with each other through different kinds of communicative sounds. We know that there are ways that nature communicates to us. Some of those ways are astrology. Some of those ways are what are called nimitta in the tradition, or omens. So those are divination as a form of communication. But when we start to wake up more, we realize and experience that everything is communicating with everybody, with everything. That everything that happens has an expressive component. Someone in a Buddhist tradition, a tantric Buddhist tradition, called duality a theater of communication. That it's like sort of a total theater of expressive communication. When we're in a state of relative ignorance, we don't understand all these other communications. For instance, the language of ritual. When we do puja, or when we do fire ceremony, or when we make a mudra, or when we do asana, or anything like that, we think we're just performing some sort of ritual gesture that, somehow divine, but we don't really understand why or how, and we're just doing it because it's fun, or because we're hoping we'll feel something. But as you start to wake up more, you actually start to understand those ritual gestures and what they mean. Like, for instance, this gesture, Anjali Mudra. Nobody told me what this meant. Okay, we all know, like, okay, prayer pose, it means something prayerful, whatever. That's not for me. But when you wake up a little more, you start to have a direct understanding of these things. That the thumbs coming together are going directly at your heart mara point, forming an extension of that channel from the heart chakra out to the front. It's called the gateway, the kshetra, to the heart chakra, and that the fingers are representing yagya, a fire of sacrifice, and the fingers are like the flames going up, and then the mantras that you're reciting are like the smoke, and that you're communicating this way to more subtle forms of wisdom. How do I know that? Because I just know. One day I did this and I went, oh, that's what's happening, right? So the more you go along, the more stuff like that just becomes apparent. And you're not, you begin to understand all these forms of communication that are happening that you didn't know before. Or things happen to you in your life. Various things that happen during your day. You begin to understand how you're being communicated to. And this is when the communicative, and especially the guru aspect of reality, starts to reveal itself to you. When you have that outer guru begins to appear in everything. There was one point in my sadhana where I started to feel how everything was guiding me, how every little accidental thing in life was sort of trying to keep me along, going on the right path. And I just started to feel like, wait a minute, like sort of trapped by guru everywhere, telling me what to do. It was like overwhelming.